Hey guys, Doug the Michigan Piper coming to you from the Pipe Rest, and actually a very nice day outside here in Southwest Michigan, almost 50 degrees. My son and I just went down and took the bikes down, got some stable in them for the gas, and got those winterized, and came back with helmet heads, hence the hat. So, but that's not the reason for this video. The reason for this video is you guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, I do like quick reviews on whatever pipe tobacco I'm smoking. But this video is specifically for a pipe tobacco. I think it deserves a whole review video on its own. And I'll be honest with you, I don't watch a whole lot of reviews. And the main reason is because, you know, I just don't tend to have a lot of the same taste buds as a lot of the guys do. So listening to what somebody else thinks about a blend just doesn't do me a whole lot of good. Suffice to say that, you know, if it's in English, I know I'm probably not going to like it. Sorry for the guys that smoke Englishes, but anyway, you saw a video a couple of weeks ago that I did about Maison Edwards, and while I was in there, I got one of their more popular blends to smoke, and of course I was a little distracted. I knew it was good at the time. I was a little distracted with the conversation, just good conversation, and people in and out, just an awesome little atmosphere. So I didn't really think about, you know, what I was smoking. And sorry if you hear the creaking floor. The kitchen's right above me, and they're upstairs decorating for Christmas. So the family is, but that was, by the way. Anyway, so I decided I was going to do a review on this, and this tobacco. It's number 32 if you make it into the store. And it's, what's the name of it? I've got it here. Marco Island. This is from Maison Edwards. It's one of their house blends. And I can tell you in one word, if you want to not watch this whole video and you want to know what I think about it, pleasant. That's my word for this tobacco. Pleasant. Very, very pleasant from beginning to end. This tobacco on the tin note is just, it's awesome, you guys. This to me reminds me of a traditional tobacco. And what I mean by that is, this takes me back to my childhood, smelling my grandfather's pipe. This is just, if I had to describe this, and there's a couple different ways I can describe it. The first way is, this is like Captain Black grew up. Another way of describing it is there's some notes in here that distinctly remind me of Original Choice, but Mac Baren Original Choice. Original Choice has a very distinctive smell to it and taste, and I never have figured out what it is, but it's a little overbearing for me. That's in here, but it plays a very good role. It plays a very, it's not so overbearing. And you add that, if you took Mac Baren's Original Choice and Lane 1Q and they had a kid, I think this is what it would be. Just wonderful. So I called, the guys that runs a shop down there, his name is Chuck. This is in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And I asked Chuck, I'm like, okay, I'm not asking for your recipe, but can you tell me kind of what's in it? So he said there's Cavendish in it, Virginia. And then this part I didn't understand. Maybe some of you guys can help me out with this, because he said this part wasn't toppings. It was tobaccos that did this, but he's got almond, coconut, and vanilla. So those three are in there in tobaccos is what he's telling me. So I'm not sure if I misunderstood him, or maybe if there's some tobaccos that put those off more. Yeah, it's just wonderful, you guys. And one of the things I wanted to explain to you too is, a lot of times on the aromatics, especially when they start getting into multiple different flavors, you start getting goopy, you start getting sugary, sweet, just, you know, too much. You know, multi-doche is a good, or multi-doche I should say, is a good example of that, where it's super good, but it's like eating frosting straight out of the jar. This is not like that. This is sweet. This is, I hate to say sweet, you guys, because yeah, it's sweet, but it's not overbearing sweet. It's different. I wish I could be more descriptive of it. And I could be honest with you too. I could sit here and smell this all day and just sit here and talk to you. It seems that good. So let me go ahead and pack a pipe up with this, get it started, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, guys, I'm back. Smoking this in my B42 Peterson B42. I think it's considered a bent apple. You guys, this is wonderful. The reason why I say this is probably the fourth time I've had it. And the reason why I say this is like original choice and Lane 1 had a kid was because Lane 1Q, I'm on the outside and I just don't care for it. It's just not strong enough for me. And you heard me talk about original choice is a little bit too strong. So this balances out well, very, very well. I think you could freight train this and not get tongue bite. Very, very easy on the mouth. I will say the room note on this is fantastic. This is one of those ones where people over for the holidays and you smoke in your house, this is the one you want to smoke. Guys, this is so well rounded. The retro hail just adds to it, but it doesn't, if you don't do a retro hail, it doesn't detract from it. I'm getting a sweetness almost on the side of my tongue, if that makes any sense. It's got a really traditional feel to it for me, really traditional. This to me seems like it's right straight out of a Norman Rockwell painting. And it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful, you guys. So, yes, this came from a brick and mortar. And a lot of guys are like, well, I'd like to try that, but... So here's the deal. I called Chuck. And he does do mail orders. Now, the only thing is, because he's a small brick and mortar, he's not, one of these big online companies, they have to start a card for you, basically. So, if you get a hold of them, look up Maison Edwards. It's M-A-I-S-O-N Edwards. And you look in the title, it'll be in there too. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, and gives you their phone number. You can call, talk to Chuck yourself. He's got several house blends. This is not the only one. This is just one of his more popular blends. What they do is a card. They basically do a mail thing where you mail them in a card, and they have a card on file. I don't know, they mail you a card, or have a card on file, something like that. That verifies you're 21 or older. So, but here's what I would like to do. And maybe, just maybe, we can do a good thing here, guys. We all would like to see more brick and mortars, and we don't, for obvious reasons. It's just expensive and getting worse. Here's what I think would be cool. And I'm going to ask the YTPC for a favor here. Wouldn't it be cool if each one of us got on periodically, once a month or whatever, and just said, you know what, here's my local brick and mortar. Here's a good blend that they have, one that I suggest. And then we just kind of hit these guys, kind of bombard them. It's like everybody calls in an order, and, will we be able to order from them all the time? No. And yes, there's a lot out there to be, doing this all the time. I get that, but how cool would it be to help out our brick and mortars who are helping us out by keeping our doors open? So here's a favor that I'm asking is, if you can find it in your heart and your pocketbook, and this is not an expensive blend, could you look up Maison Edwards, and maybe I'll put their information in the bucket down below. Look them up, and order some tobacco from them. Tell them you're from the YTPC, and just, you know, make a business owner's day, one that's out there doing it for us. And this guy's been doing it for a long time, you guys, long time. Like I said, when we were in there, there's a guy who came in and sat down across from us, and he said, I just had to come have a pipe. I was back in town. I bought my first pipe here from that guy 20 years ago. So it's not a fly-by-night thing, and I just think it'd be really cool if we could kind of, you know, show some love there. So if you find it in your heart, you guys, you want to contact this guy, my suggestion, if you like aromatics, even if you're kind of on the fence about them, number 32, which is, I keep forgetting the name, Marco Island, is a great place to start. But he's got several house blends. He's knowledgeable about them. You want to give him a talk and see what he says. I'm sure he's got English blends too. I know he does. He does. So give him a shout, you guys. Other than that, things are going well. Yeah, I'll give you an update on my medical stuff later. Not a whole lot's changed. But doing well. Christmas time's here finally. Thanksgiving's over. Had a great Thanksgiving. And one last thing, if you keep Scott 16th day in your prayers, he lost his mom. So kind of broke the heart of a lot of us in the YTPC. So he's hurting. Just keep him in your prayers and go from there. So guys, again, if you guys do me a solid, if you feel you can, no pressure. Be awesome. This guy got a bunch of phone calls, and I'm not doing this review just to do that. This, I'm telling you, this is why I'm doing the call-in, because this is so good. So guys, I hope you're all doing well. Until next time, you take care.